Hey YouTube, Dusty here, and I'm excited to announce I have officially launched my Patreon page. If you like what I do, you can sign up for tiers like Saiyan, Super Saiyan, and Super Saiyan Rose to unlock exclusive daily content. You can also unlock unique callers for my new Discord channel. Regardless if you become a Patreon or not, make sure you stop by and say hello. Hello everyone, Dusty here. I'm excited to announce that KitchenTableMeta is collaborating with Popo's Kitchen, a new site specializing in Dragon Ball Super singles. They have everything from Set 1 tournament promos to Union Force and even Dash Pack promos. And if that wasn't enough, you can even trade in your old cards for credit. Do you have a playset of Sensu beans you're not using? Turn them into credit and buy that shiny Jiren. Don't forget to tell them Dusty sent you by using the code KitchenTableMeta at the checkout to save 10% on your entire order.
Alright guys, how's it going? We're back for round 4, Dragon Ball Super Card Game Regional here at Hartford, Connecticut. We'll let them know they can start. Alright, we have the top table this time. We have Mighty Mask Turbo, Julien on the green side, 3-0. And we have Tricolor Babadi Ginyu. This is I took a look at the deck actually, it was actually really neat. It's red, green, yellow Ginyu list, which is super, super cool. Looks like everything's getting set up. I can absolutely not see anyone's life. Oh, they haven't put the life out yet. Okay, that's good. I'm a little bit ahead of the game this time, guys. That's awesome. All right, so this matchup's really, really neat. We have, like I said, the Cell leader on the Mighty Mask Turbo deck. He didn't, tell me too much about the deck. He definitely said it was really cool. Definitely a little bit different. So I can't wait to see how this game goes and how these players play. Again, since we do have the Babadi engine with Ginyu, it could be very devastating because, we don't know what's in the Cell's deck, but, Ginyu has a lot of ways to protect that Babadi combo. So, all right, so Collin's going to be playing his blue out, does his Ginyu search, and plays out Boo, which is a fantastic one drop. So we're going to take his life away here. Now he's actually going to attack. He's actually going to put a little bit of pressure on Cell. And this is a really good play and something you want to do when you're against Cell because Cell runs Tien. And he's actually going to take the hit there and go to 7. And what this does is this sets up Tien to be a little bit worse because if you try to Tien awaken, once you're at 7, you have to go to 3 life to awaken. And so that's actually a very smart move. Now I'm curious to see if Collin continues to attack Julien. He shouldn't, but we'll see. So here's Mighty Mask. He's attacking 10,000 into Ginyu here. And he's going to take it and go to 6. All right. And then he's going to take away that Mighty Mask. And he's going to search his deck for the Goten and Trunks. He's getting his combo card for Trunks, which is fantastic, and he's going to get Goten. Now, the 2-drop 10,000 attacker, or I'm sorry, 15,000 attacker Goten might not seem like it's that great of a card, and as a pressure card, it isn't. But what's really cool about that card now is he essentially uses it kind of like a fetch land, if you're familiar with Magic terms. But essentially, he's getting that card, put it in his hand, so he can play it as energy next turn. And he essentially is searching out a blue energy with that card, which is super cool. A really, really neat way to use that card. So it looks like now Julien's going to know something's up because he sees Ginyu, he sees a blue play, and now he sees a red card. And he just saw Babadi off of the Ginyu reveal, and so now he's going to know something's up. He's going to know what's going on now. So that could be good or bad for Collin. Obviously, I'm sure Collin would like to wait a little bit longer before he reveals his plan. But again, it's not like Julien has very many ways to stop it. I haven't seen a yellow energy come down, so it's going to be up to Julien to kind of pressure this Babadi by using his Cell ability or a card like Jiren, which we see one coming down as well. So, all right, so it looks like Collin is passing to Julien. Julien's trying to figure out what he wants to do here. He runs a Cobb in his deck, too. That's really neat. This deck seems really cool, this Mighty Mask. Oh, I actually spelled his deck name wrong. Just noticed that. All right, so we have another Mighty Mask coming down. This time he's going to not attack, which makes sense. I mean, his opponent is awakened, actually, at 4 life. I need to fix that. And, yeah, so obviously attacking here doesn't really do anything. He doesn't really want to use any cards out of his deck or anything like that to try to, boost it or make it more powerful to try to get through. Instead, he's just going to patch out to get to 2 cards. We saw the Goten and Trunks he just got, add it to his hand. Again, just adding more cards to his hand. Essentially, Mighty Mask is a draw 1 card, and so he's trying to stay, keep up with the card advantage from Ginyu. Looks like Julien's actually at 6. We'll go 6 here. All right, so Collin's going to play down his Jiren, which you hate to see because Jiren is a big threat off of Babadi, and it kind of stinks he has to play that out from his hand as energy, but he does need 2 red to be able to play Babadi, and we know he has a Babadi in his hand. He's going to attack with Ginyu and draw a card. Looks like he drew Champa there, so he drew another Babadi threat off of his draw, which seems like this Babadi might not be the best Babadi. A lot of threats have already been used, so but anyway, he's going to play Objection here, play out his Whis, and pass the turn back to Julien. Mighty Mass Turbo. Julien's on 3 energy. You know, that was a good turn for Collin. He got a little bit ahead on energy there. He's awakened. He got to draw a card. Julien's down to 5 life. So he's about to awaken here. I'm anxious to see what Collin's going to do here. If he's just going to leave him at 5 life, try to stall him out while he builds up to that Babadi play. Again, you know, Julien has really no way to awaken in his deck other than running the TN. And so if he does play out TN here, he actually would have to go, you know, to 3 life to do it. So it's putting Julien in kind of a weird spot, but he does play out this Jiren, which can easily take over this game. It's a fantastic card against the Babadi deck because it has the ability to kill both threats after they come out to play, since it can attack active cards. Now, the first attack, if it's on a battle card, it gets plus 10,000, so he goes up to 30,000. The second attack, it just stays straight at 20,000. He is a double striker, too. And it looks like he's just going to pitch that Gotenks to be able to stay alive. Which again, Collin has so many threats that he wants to play with Babadi in his hand. So I'm really anxious to see how this Babadi does. Now, it still can hit Gotenks, but again, Gotenks isn't that great in this situation since Collin has so many cards in hand. So I'm anxious to see if he decides to just wait out the Babadi, wait till he gets a little bit lower in hand, and then play it out, so he can hit that Gotenks, or if he'll just, you know, kind of YOLO out the Babadi here. Oh, so it looks like Julien might have maybe thought he was being attacked there. I think maybe he thought that attack was maybe a little bit stronger than it was. Let's see. It looks like it is Ginyu attacking into Cell here. Looks like they got everything cleared up here. He is going to use the Trunks here to survive that attack. And possibly one more card. We'll see. Nope. Oh, so it wasn't a Jiren. Okay, my bad, guys. So it's attacking the Jiren. He's just going to let it die. All right, so we have Gotenks coming out here, which is a very, it's still a good card. Now, I know a lot of people feel like if you play Gotenks out and you don't get the double striking from it, from the tokens, then, you know, it's not that great of a play. But honestly, this puts a lot of pressure on Cell because these Yu-Gi-Oh cards here are actually 15,000 ghost tokens. And what can happen here is you could really put a lot of pressure on Cell where he doesn't want to, you know, he can't kill the tokens with his ability. And so the tokens are just threats to stay out, and it can put a lot of pressure on him.
Force of will players.
So here he's playing Sensu being out. It looks like the token is the... No, he's actually using Gotenks as the target. So Gotenks will be a 25,000 attacker. It's possible Collin just maybe might discard a lot of cards out of his hand here to like to give these guys double strike eventually. We'll see. Looks like he's just going to use Sensu Bean though, but it's possible maybe for the next attack, maybe he's just trying to fill out Julien and see what Julien might do here. Right, here we have Sensu Bean coming out on the second token. Looks like he's choosing Gotenks again. So this is going to put Gotenks up to a 30,000 attacker. And now he's using this. Looks like Julien did take that hit. And he's down to 4 life. And again, looks like he is just dumping his hand out to try to give this token and the other Gotenks double strike. So it's 15, 25, 35, 40. So there's a 40,000 token coming in. He's just going to take it and go to 3, it looks like. I'm surprised he doesn't awaken here. I feel like he should awaken. Oh, it's actually his double strike because he pitched his hand. So yeah, that's not 2 life. Again, I'm really surprised he's not just, Julien didn't awaken there. I'd give him a little bit more time. He gets 2 more cards in hand, which could help him against this attack. So this is 15, 25, 30. 30 double strikers. This is for game here. So he's going to awaken here and draw 2 cards. So it looks like he did draw a couple trunks, which is good for him. So he's at, this token is at 15, 25, 30. We have 15, 25, so he's at 35 right now. So he did survive that attack, but he has a big, actually might be over. Oh no, because of the Sensu Bean, I think. Okay. So this is a 25,000 attacker then, I think. 25, 35. So he goes up to 25 here. Looks like he will have enough cards in hand to survive here. Yeah, so now he's up to... Yeah, so he is going to have enough to survive here. He did have to use a lot of cards out of his hand, though, but he is awakened, and that's where Cell wants to be. Cell is extremely strong once he gets awakened because he can cycle cards out of his hand. He can start removing cards. It's just he starts getting really good card advantage. He also can cycle cards. So if there's a card in the hand he doesn't want, he can put it under Cell and draw 2 cards, which allows him to get through these, get through his deck and get the threats he needs. Now, what he really needs here is maybe he has what is 3, 4, is 5 energy. What he's looking for, in my opinion, if he has it, is a Kel, because Kel can shut this down. Collin is tapped out, so he can't like cold ballast the Kel or anything. But if he has a Kel, he can kill the Gotenks and kill the tokens. But instead, he's going to play his 3-cost Cell out here. It looks like he might have the androids in hand to maybe go get the 5-drop to kill the Gotenks. Yeah, so he's going to pitch the 5-drop. Looks like he was pitching the 5-drop Cell out of his hand to try to find an android so he could possibly search and kill. So it looks like Cell is attacking and winning the tokens, and Collin's just going to let it die. Now we have a Cell into... We're not sure yet. It looks like another token, and it's going to die. All right, so we have 1 token up. A Gotenks up. Still a terrifying board for Julien. Both of those threats can, easily kill him by Collin. So we'll see what happens. Also, Collin just drew a cold Bloodlust off of that draw. So now he's going to be in a good spot going into the next turn. But it looks like he's just going to Babadi. And he's going to look at the top 7 here. It looks like he did get a Champa. A Champa and a Gohan. So this Gohan's really powerful. The Gohan is a 15,000 attacker. You can draw a card when you attack with him, but if you don't draw a card, it gets double strike. So it's a very good card. He can attack here and choose not to draw a card and just start putting pressure on the Goku. I'm sorry, on the Cell. And here Collin's going to attack with the Ginyu into the Cell. And he's going to Sensu Bean go up to 20, which Sensu Bean is also good against these tokens as well. So we have another 15. Into 20. He's going to choose to draw off here. He's not going to go double strike. Just give himself some more cards in hand. Looks like he drawed another Babadi. Oh, it's such a good draw. This is 20,000 double strike into 20,000. So Julien just needs 1 card here to survive this. And he's just going to pitch the Kaba here. And we have a corrosion for the Champa. This is a 6-drop Champa that has triple strike. 25,000 triple striker that kills all 15,000 battle cards when it comes into play. Which is a very, very good threat and a great card to get off of Babadi. Collin's going to choose not to attack with the token, not try to put any pressure or anything like that on him. He does have another Babadi, and he is tapped out. No, he does. He has 1 yellow open, so we have a cold Bloodlust. It's going to make it really hard for Julien to get back into this game because whatever he plays out could get cold Bloodlusted. So we see a Gotenks here. If he goes for this Gotenks play and he gets cold Bloodlusted, that's going to spell disaster for him. He might actually just be dead at that point. But he's going to draw 2 cards. Ah, come on, Julien. Don't play out the Gotenks. So he's going to kill a Champa with the Cell ability, and he's going to attack into the Gotenks. Now, Collin's, most traditional Ginyu decks have a lot of cards in their hand, but Collin's essentially using Ginyu as a more aggressive leader here, and so he might not be able to save this Gotenks here. We'll see. Oh, it looks like he's attacking to the Gohan instead. Okay. Yeah, so he just pitches a Bulma to save the Gohan. And it looks like Julien might be going for the Super Saiyan Gotenks play here. But he does have 1 blue open, and here it comes. Definitely expecting cold Bloodlust here. Yeah, which is going to essentially only leave Julien with 1 energy out to survive this onslaught of threats, because it's going to almost for sure come off of this Babadi. So yeah, he's going to kill the Gohan. Now I think we've only seen 1 Gotenks, so it's possible that he's going to hit another Gotenks off here. I think it's very likely that he does, but we'll see what Collin chooses to do here. He's going to play a card down his energy, so he has 1 card in hand, which we know is Babadi. He's going to attack with his Ginyu here. Choosing not... Oh, no, he's actually deciding to choose with Gotenks, and he's going to get that countered. I like this play by Collin. I like that he's drawing a card before he plays out his Babadi. This is going to thin his deck out a little bit and give him a chance to maybe get more threats off of the Babadi play. So he's going to Sensu Bean that, which is actually pretty good by Julien. It actually puts him in a situation where he might be able to survive this Babadi. I can't quite make out the cards in Julien's hand. It looks like he might have another Super Saiyan Gotenks in hand. So he's going to play Ultimate Comeback, Gohan, and another Gotenks, which is going to put 3 more tokens out. That will be 4 15,000 double striking tokens. But what Julien has to be prepared for here is that this Gohan does not kill this Gotenks, because if it does, he loses the game off of its 2 damage. So Julien's going to have to try to protect not only himself from these tokens, but also protect... oh, actually, Collin's deciding to just go in on the leader. Okay, so he's going to choose to go Babadi. Put this threat up to, it looks like 40,000 or 45,000, 55,000. It looks like Julien might just not have the hand to survive. Now, lucky for Julien, he does have Sensu Bean out, so it's going to, if he could survive this attack, he might be okay. No, he doesn't have anything, and that's going to be Collin winning game 1 of this very interesting top table here. That's super awesome. We had a Tricolor Babadi Ginyu. That's super neat. And then we have the Mighty Mass Turbo deck, which actually looks really nice. I just feel like, what happened there with Julien, he just didn't get a chance to kind of, get threats out on the board, and like the one chance he did, Tricolor Babadi, got that Cold Bolas, which really shut down the Super Saiyan Gotenks play. And I think if he could have got that off, he would have been in a much better position. But we'll see what happens in game 2. I feel like there is a lot of sideboarding changes that go into here. I think this Ginyu deck might be a little weak going into sideboarding, where the Mighty Mass Turbo deck has a lot more options, I feel like, with more removal, more ways to shut down this deck. Now, what Julien needs, if he has it, is he needs Kells. I'm really surprised I didn't see any Kells in this matchup, because it's so good against the tokens. It's so good against Gotenks. In my opinion, if you're playing green, you should have at least 2 or 3 Kells in your board or in your main board, because it's just such a powerful card against those decks. All right, pop this up here. Try to get everything set for the next game. All right, so it looks like they're done sideboarding. Well, it actually looks like Julien's done sideboarding, which is the Mighty Mass player. Again, I feel like this deck, I think Julien's deck has a good matchup going into game 2. He knows what's going on with Ginyu. He's not, going to be taken by surprise again. He understands what the deck is trying to do. It plays out all these threats. It's a lot more aggressive version of Ginyu, and so I think he'll make better decisions going into this match now that he knows what's being played. That's a really cool advantage about Collin's deck, which is something that's maybe a little underestimated, is if you can take your opponent off guard by playing something that's a little bit different, you can really come in and steal game 1 away. And I feel like that's kind of what happened to Collin here. I feel like he played very well. He got some really good draws, but he also, is playing a very unique deck that I think his opponent might not be prepared for. So it looks like they're mulligan still going through. Now, the Tricolor Babadi Ginyu deck, I would like to see him, try to find a way to not get as many of his threats in his hand, which he just drew. He has a ridiculous hand. He's going to mulligan that entire hand away, which makes perfect sense to me. I mean, he had Gohan, Gotenks, and Champa in his deck. Those 3 threats. You got to be really careful with the Babadi decks. You don't want to have too many of your threats in your energy or in your hands, because then you won't hit with that and get the value from that card. I think what Collin wants is he wants a Gohan on turn 3 here to start drawing some more cards. And last game, he just didn't get that. So I like to see Collin's early game get just a little bit better going into this matchup, but we'll see what happens. It looks like they're getting their life set up, getting ready to go. We'll switch over to gameplay. And get ready for game 2 of this exciting round 4 matchup. I love both of these decks. These decks are both super neat. Oh, I didn't set my life. We'll fix the life. Sorry, guys. I knew that was too easy. So his opponent's just going to pass. It looks like Collin will use the Ginyu ability, go to 7 life. And he's going to attack Cell. Again, such a smart play. I know it might look kind of weird to be attacking Cell early and giving him a chance to awaken, but whenever you attack early like this, you put the Cell player in a weird position because if they want to use TN to awaken, it essentially makes it so they have to awaken at 3 life instead of 4. It's just a really intelligent play. And so here we have Julien attacking into the Ginyu. Collin will let that hit him. And go to 6 life. So now we get, again, another Trunks, and it looks like he's probably going to get a blue Goten here again. Again, it helps fix his energy. And just straight up card advantage. It's also a good combo card. It can be used, in a pinch to survive a combo card as well. All right, so he's going to get the red Goten, and this lets you go get Gotenks, which is super neat. A really good way to set this deck up. Because he does have Goten and energy, it actually makes sense. Why would he go get another Goten? I don't know what I was talking about there. So he's going to attack, again, puts the Ginyu player down to 5 life. Which is going to allow Collin to awaken this turn. On turn 2, he gets to awaken. So he has red and blue, and he's going to go to 4 life here and awaken. We do see Cold Bloodlust, but at least Julien knows Cold Bloodlust is here now. And so what he needs to try to do here is try to find ways to bait this Cold Bloodlust out of his hand. He needs to play some bigger threats faster, and so that's so that Collin has to be forced to use that. Now, one good thing is Collin doesn't have a yellow energy up, and so Julien's going to be safe for a couple turns until Collin can find that yellow energy. You see Bulba coming out here. Now, chances are he's going to search for Whis here. We saw him do that game 1, but it's still possible he might have the Whis blocker, which could be pretty decent in this matchup. But he's going to get the rest of the attendant.
You paid for entry and listen to this band. This is a free side event for you. If you're interested, see me at the stage.
All right, he's going to pass. Collin's going to pass the turn. Again, guys, I will after this match, I will start taking some of your guys' questions as well. So remember, you can always put at KitchenTableMeta in the chat, and I'll get to your questions as soon as this match is, or as soon as this match is over, or this game is over. I guess I don't know. All right, so Julien's trying to figure out what energy he wants to play out. Again, his opponent is tapped out, which is very good. Well, actually, it was a very fast turn by Julien. Just play a land and go. Very surprising to me. It looks like Julien's just maybe struggling getting the cell combo going. He's not getting the pieces for the combo that he wants, which could be very good against this match. But honestly, that's something to keep in mind is that, Julien does have the cell combo in his deck, and he might actually not playing it on purpose so that, Collin doesn't get Gotenks on board. So he's going to take this hit, go down to 5 life. All right, so both players thinking, both players trying to figure out what they want to do here. Julien taking some time to, figure out what he wants to do, which is good. I mean, he needs to do that. He's in a pretty bad spot right now. The first game didn't go very well for him, so he needs to slow down, needs to take some time, trying to figure out what he wants to do. Again, it looks like he is struggling with his cell combo here. He is going to play Android to go search for another card that has Android in the title of the card. Now, he can't get Cell with this card because Cell is an Android, but Cell doesn't have Android in its title. So I'm excited to see what card he decides to get here. Looks like he might be going for the 5-cost Android 17. But no, he's going to get the Android 18. And this was probably just the pitch piece that he's going to use to combo in with Cell. This isn't, I think that's the 3-cost Cell. Sorry, the 3-cost Android 18. I couldn't quite make it out. All right, so he's going to draw a card. Drew a Jiren that turn, so Jiren's actually not bad in this situation. Again, it's a card that he can play out He can put some pressure on his opponent's field and put pressure on his opponent. Jiren's just such a fantastic card in red. Probably one of the best red cards. If it's not him, it might be Babadi, but it's definitely one of those two cards. Instead, he's going to instead he's just going to play out the Whis, go up to 6 energy, so he'll have 7 energy on the next turn and could play out Babadi possibly. It looks like he might have 2 Babadis in hand, so Collin's pretty set up going into the next turn. He does have a yellow set up and a blue, so he does have that's Cold Bolas in hand turned on, which is very important. All right, so here's Julien's Jiren. I think Collin's trying to figure out if he wants to Crusher Ball this, or he might want to Cold Bolas it. Let's take a quick look through his hand. Looks like he's going to let it come into play, and he's just going to attack the Whis. This is for 30,000. Again, the first attack gets plus 10,000, and he can attack active cards. Then the second attack doesn't get the buff. So he's going to let the Whis die. And we'll see what Julien decides to do here. Is he going to attack the Bulma? Is he going to attack Ginyu? It looks like he just passed the turn. And Collin just used one of his Babadi to survive there. I'm sorry, one of his Gotenks to survive there, which is good. I mean, he's still staying at a healthy 4 life, which is fantastic. You know, if he can survive to late game, it looks like his late game might be a lot better than his opponent's late game here. So there's another Gotenks down in energy. So he's attacking 15,000 into Jiren. No counters from Julien. Now Collin's trying to figure out how bad he wants this Jiren dead. He said he's another Gotenks to boost it up to 25,000 to Jiren's 20. And looks like that'll be it. So I can imagine Julien will want to protect this card. He'll want to use probably the Android on fields. Maybe one more card to keep this alive. It's pretty important that this Jiren stays alive to help him control the Babadi turn. But it looks like Collin knows that, so Collin's trying to deal with this Jiren before he plays out a Babadi, which is a very smart play. So he's gonna play just a Jiren of his own out here, and probably going to be pressuring this Jiren with the first attack going to 30,000 into 20, and Julien's just going to let that die. It's not worth trying to save it. There's just so many cards, and again, he can just attack into it the next time as well. So now he's going to attack the Android and kill it. All right, passing the turn to Julien. Now Collin does have 1 yellow open and 1 blue open. This lets him, he has Cold Bolas still available. Looks like in his hand, and maybe access to maybe a Crusher Ball. I saw. Looks like Julien's just going to go for 5 here, go for Super Saiyan Gotenks. Very good play for him. He needs to try to get as many threats as he can on the board. It looks like Collin's going to let that resolve. I'm surprised. I thought I saw a Cold Bolas in hand, but maybe I didn't. And I'm sure Julien's going to use this card to pressure this Jiren. He wants to get this Jiren off board so he can protect his Gotenks and use it as a game ender. Yeah, it looks like Collin might be trying to save that Cold Bolas maybe for the Cell turn. Maybe he's worried about the Cell combo coming out. And Collin's going to combo with the Dora to save the Jiren. So we have another Mighty Mask coming out. He's going to search again for a Trunks or a Goten card. Both, actually. Sorry. He's going to get the Trunks combo card and a blue Goten. This is great for him. The Goten's such a good card in this situation. He can use it as a combo piece if he needs to try to keep the Super Saiyan Gotenks alive. He can also just use it as an energy next turn, which can be also very powerful. All right, so Collin's going to draw his card. Got another mind controlling Babadi. I can see him probably playing this card out now since he has 2 in hand. It puts Julien in a situation where he has to deal with the first one, and if he does, he can just play out a second one and hopefully take over the game. But he's going to try to deal with this Gotenks first, and he's going to get negated. Now the second attack won't be able to kill the Gotenks unless he combos with the Bulma, but again, he's just going to play out this Babadi and try to see what he can get. He has 2 Jiren off the top, which would be fantastic here. Looks like he is going to go with both of them here. Yes, he has 3 Jiren outs. Jiren's in such a good spot here. He has 2 attacks that he can pressure this Gotenks with, and then have 3 double strike attacks going in on Julien's cell. So that's a very good hit with Babadi, and very good in this matchup in general. So again, he's going to go for this Gotenks again, and it's just going to die. It looks like Collin's going to pass turn. It looks like he's going to, wait for next turn and do an Alpha Strike with probably his next Babadi and all the threats. I think that's a fine play. It seems, not that necessary to try to end the game here, but it's really possible that he could put a lot of pressure on his opponent. Even if his opponent awakens, I think his opponent would have to, or Julien would have to discard so many cards to stay alive. They would kind of negate the awaken. So I'm kind of surprised to see that, but I don't think it's a bad play. I think it's fine. And Julien's playing 4 out here. Going to play another Jiren of his own. A lot of Jirens in this matchup, as it turns out. So maybe he can get 2 of these Jirens off the board. But I'm almost sure that Collin has something to do with this. We see a Sensu Bean in his hand, which is enough just in general to deal with it. He's actually just going to combo to keep it alive. Not going to go for the Sensu Bean plan. That's surprising to me. All right, so we're going to see Bulma to keep it alive as well. And Julien's passing turn. Now, this should be Collin's Alpha Strike turn. He has 3 Jiren on field, so that's a total of 6 damage. If he plays another Babadi out, he could possibly do the same thing. It's also possible he's trying to find a Champa to play, so he can use that triple strike to try to end the game. So use these Jirens to hit him down to 3 and then use Champa to finish the game. But we'll see what he gets off of this Babadi here. So we do see a Champa off of that and another Babadi, which he can't use. Oh, and a Gotenks. I didn't see the Gotenks. It actually doesn't kill the Jiren. So, okay, good. He got it. All right, nice. So we have 3 very powerful 50,000 double strike tokens coming out. And Julien's in a world of hurt right here. I'm not really sure that he can survive this turn unless he gets really lucky off of the Awakening and draws 2 powerful cards. But we'll see what happens. Collin doing a great job making sure to get the threat off the field before he commits. I would have actually liked to see Collin maybe take a life and put pressure, double strike pressure on him here. But he's playing safe, which is fine too. It's a very good play as well. So I'm going to chase life. Julien's down to 4 life. Julien's going to awaken, draw 2 cards. We'll see if he can have enough gas here to be able to survive. I can't see if he has a Sensu Bean in hand. That would really help him out here. But he's just going to use his 7-drop cell to survive. Puts him at 1 blue. And Jiren coming in for 20,000 double striking, which will put him to 2 life. Julien trying to figure out what he wants to do here, looking through his cards, and he's going to use the Trunks to go up to the 25,000 and surviving the first Jiren attack. Now Collin's going to attack here and give another Jiren. Again, 20,000 to 15,000. He's going to boost this one up to 25. See what Julien decides to do here. He's going to take the double strike and go to 2 life. This is very scary to do, but it's possible he's just taking that hit to try to get more cards in hands. What he needs to find here is a Sensu Bean if possible. So we'll see what Julien wants to do. And he's just going to negate that triple striker. All right, Collin trying to figure out in what order he wants to attack here. And it looks like he's going to go 20,000 double striker in the cell for the game. We'll see if Julien can survive this. We'll see if Collin puts any more pressure on him here. If I'm Collin, I have to be worried about Sensu being here, so I think I would put a little bit of pressure on my opponent. And he's just going to dump 2 zero-cost cards to survive that attack. And the first 15,000 double striking token. Actually, the token's not double strike because Collin has so many cards in hand. It looks like the Sensu Bean is coming out. That's my bad. I forgot that that Collin had so many cards in hand. Okay, so he's just going to use Sensu Bean now. Sells up to 20,000, and he's just going to. Collin's just going to simply pass the turn back. He's not going to commit any more resources to try to put pressure on Julien. He could put a lot of pressure on him here if he wants to, but I don't feel like Collin's in any danger of losing this match on this turn. He has 3 open energy. He has 4 life. Julien doesn't have a threat on the field, so playing safe is the smart play for Collin, especially when you're up a game. Take your time, make sure you get through the game and make the right plays. So we see a Kaba coming out. Looks like Julien might just be trying to end this game right here. I mean, he knows he can't survive the next turn, so it's not a bad play. He's going to take the card and gets a Jiren. That's actually a good card. So we have 15,000 coming out. He's going to go up to 25,000 double striker. 30,000 double striker. It's possible that Julien could actually use the combo card and draw back up with the android in his hand. So I think right now he wants to figure out what threat he wants to use. He is going to use the Jiren. I would use one more card too if possible. Try to get as many cards out of my hand as I can for that android. So he's at 40,000 double striking. It looks like his leader is going to be at 20, 30, 35, 40, and survives it. That spells disaster for Julien. I think that's really kind of his only hope there. I honestly think he should have used the trunk cards in his hands to just draw as many cards as he could and put tons of pressure on Collin here, and then use the android in his hand to try to draw back up. But we'll see what happens. So there's the android that allows him to draw up to 4 cards in your hand. And he's going to get the Cold Bloodlust. You can tell the frustration from Julien because he doesn't get that ability now. He's going to go 20,000, pitch the game. And that's game 2 for Collin. Another really fast game. Very well played by Collin. And just really feel like Julien couldn't get anything started there. I mean, I feel like he really had a pretty good chance there, but he just could not get a threat to stick. It feels like Collin had all the answers there with the Jirens. They are just extremely powerful cards if they can stay on the field. That's the main thing for Jirens. If they can stay on the field, they just keep adding value. They keep, killing another card. Next turn, they kill another card. They just keep doing that. And with the red Ginyu, Ginyu has the ability to keep that Jiren alive. And I think that's what we saw. Collin just literally took over the game with not only Jirens, but Babadis as well. So a very, very well-built deck. It seemed like a very powerful deck just in general. So I'm very excited to see how Collin does moving forward. We might be able to try to maybe get him on stream here and talk a little bit about the deck. I like to see the deck laid out, maybe get some deck tech on it. I'll definitely see what Collin is able to do after they report their match. All right, guys, so I'm going to start taking some questions. Again, if you guys have any questions, anything you want to ask, feel free to put at KitchenTableMeta in the chats, and I'll answer the questions as I see them. Again, I'm not on the ARG account, so I won't see them if you tag at ARG Live. I won't be able to see it, so I'll still try to answer them, but I might slip by. All right, let's see. So we have at KitchenTableMeta interview the winner. Yeah, I'll definitely try to. Like I said, it's just sometimes I can't, sometimes they don't want to, or they're doing something else. There is a lot of games we're playing here, guys. We're at round 4. We have still 4 more rounds to go, and so a lot of these players just take this time to get some water, go use the bathroom, get ready up. But if I can get him on here, I will definitely try to do that. I don't like Babadi in that deck very much. I actually like Babadi in that deck a lot. It actually gives you a lot of ways to add more pressure to your opponent. And I actually feel like that game would have been a lot closer if he didn't have Babadi in the deck in order to take over the matches. Because what happens is Jiren sets you up to put a lot of pressure on your opponent and to clear out threats that your opponent has. And then once you get the board cleared, you can take Babadi and just keep extending your lead. At KitchenTableMeta, are you going to Vegas? I'm going to try to go to Vegas. It really depends on how my buddy, Chris, thinks about it. If I can make it like a trip where me and Chris and our wives can go, I think it makes it a lot more appealing that way because we can have a lot more fun. If I can't, then I might not go to Vegas. We'll just kind of see what happens. But I would like to go to Vegas. I would actually like to go to all the events. They're all awesome. But it's just trying to figure out how it goes and how that's how the travel stuff happens. It feels hard to play Babadi. Yeah, it can be. So in your world, spoilers. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, that's not for me. At KitchenTableMeta, are you going to commentate all of the regionals, even Vegas? I'm going to try my best to commentate as many as I'm able to. At the end of the day, it's really up to ARG and Jim who they choose to commentate. So if you like my commentary, if you like me doing these events, just hit them up. Tag Jim, tag ARG, and say, hey, Dusty did a good job. Maybe he should be doing the other ones. That's the best thing I can tell you guys to do. I'm going to try my best. I would love to do them. I love doing this commentating. I love bringing you guys this footage. But at the end of the day, it's not up to me. If they tell me, Dusty, you can go to anyone you want, I'll go to all of them I'm able to. But it's up to Jim who he chooses. Collin OP, yeah. Collin's deck is very cool. We'll try to get him on stream. At KitchenTableMeta, what deck do you think will win today? Oh man, that's tough to say because we have a lot of decks here that I don't know about, right? I have done a lot of testing with my stuff I think is good, but that's yellow Collin's deck, the yellow, blue, red Ginyu deck looked sweet. It looked very strong. It looked very in command. The fact that you could use Cold Bloodlust to protect Jiren is a big deal because Jiren just takes over the game when he stays out. So that deck looks sick. I think that deck has a good chance of going very far in this tournament. I think green, blue Soul Striker Goku is also a very good deck as well. That's what I would have played if I played today. I also feel like there's some Goku Black or Babadi Black decks that could be very good. And so honestly, guys, it's really hard to tell exactly what would do well, but if I had to choose a deck, I think we're going to see a Ginyu deck win the format, whether that be a Tricolor, the traditional Tricolor, or something like Collin's playing. But that's my prediction is a Ginyu deck will take it. Being told to tag Jim like he doesn't get. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just people have asked me, essentially, how am I going to do all these events and stuff? And I would love to, but at the end of the day, it's their decision. So if you guys like what I do, if you guys like the commentary, just let them know. Let the people that matter know, and then they'll get in touch with me. At KitchenTableMeta, you need to co-host with you. Yeah, that would be great. Unfortunately, I was chosen solo. I don't have anybody. I'm a one-man show, so I don't have somebody I can bring that can help me. But I would love to have a co-host with me, and probably going forward, I'll try to find a way to do that. But at the end of the day, it's not my decision. So let's see. At KitchenTableMeta, how was the meta shaping up over there? Meta's awesome. Meta's super good. It's very diverse. We've had, I think, 4 rounds of matches, and we've had a bunch of different variations of deck. Even though we've seen a lot of Ginyu in streams, they've been drastically different. So we had the last Ginyu we saw Collin play, which was really awesome. We also saw, the more traditional Ginyus, we saw more aggressive Ginyus. So that's been really neat. And also, we've seen Goku Black on stream. We've seen a mono blue version. We've seen Amani's Trunks deck. There's just been so many variation. It's one of my favorite things about this game, guys, is there's just so many different ways to build decks, and we've seen a lot of variants, a lot of variations, which is super exciting. How are you feeling about Babadi Black today? I actually feel like Babadi Black is in a much worse position than it was going into here since the Crusher Ball ruling got set up to where if you Crusher Ball Babadi's cards that come in play, it does both. And so I think, the Babadi Black decks are in a lot worse spot going into Ginyu, which I think they weren't like that going in before that ruling was confirmed. So I think Babadi Black is definitely weaker than it was originally, but I think it's still a very strong matchup. It's just going to struggle against Ginyu, which is a very popular deck in the format. At KitchenTableMeta, you think having a backup match in future casts would be a good idea? These matches seem very fluid and fast. Thank you very much, first of all, for saying that they're fluid and fast. I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that that the stream has been very fluid. I think in the future it'd be really cool to have 2 matches. Unfortunately, though, it's really hard to do that because every time you have a match on stream, you have to take a judge and have the judge being over that match. And so you have to take a judge away from the floor and bring them into a match. And so if they're essentially judging a match that's going on that may never be on stream, it's kind of taking resources that may not be necessary. But moving forward, I'll definitely talk to Jim about it and see if we can get 2 matches up. I think that'd be really neat, especially during these downtimes. But I can also do a better job, trying to get people to come do casts and stuff. It's just people are very excited, and with this splits, it's hard to get people to come to commentaries and stuff, or to do interviews because they're just wanting to take a break. These are long matches. So we'll definitely try our best going forward, though. Imagine thinking Ginyu isn't the best deck in the format. I actually don't think Ginyu is the best deck in the format. I just think it's one of the best. It's one of the most popular decks, which I think makes Babadi just have a bad matchup. Honestly. Oh, thank you for saying that the stream has a good production value. I really worked really hard, guys, on the overlays. Really tried a really good job bringing this to you guys. But if you guys have any suggestions, anything I could do better going into other casts, or just in general, just let me know. I would love to make this better for you guys. My goal was to not let you guys down and make sure I bring you guys the best stream I can. And so if there's anything I can do to make it better, just let me know. You're doing great, Dusty. This is my first DBS stream. Thank you so much, Titan Broco. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot. Like I said, I really want to be, do a good job for you guys and really, bring the production quality for this game that I think it deserves, because this game is fantastic. At KitchenTableMeta, did you bring your own casting equipment? Yes, everything here is my own casting equipment. I brought all my casting equipment. My buddy Chris McKinney helped me set it up. We set up a little bit yesterday and finished setting up today. So yeah, everything here is mine. It's all my production quality. All that stuff is 100% mine. At KitchenTableMeta, I'll be your co-host. Love to have you, man. Come on in. It'd be awesome. The Spider-Verse at KitchenTableMeta. How absolutely insane is this regional? It's absolutely insane. I know I say it a lot. I'm sorry. I apologize. So much irony. Nope. Why do people think Babadi Black is a good deck? I think Babadi Black is a good deck. I think that the Crusher Ball ruling definitely hurt that deck, and that's why it might not be as well as being a good position as it was. But it's very good because it can accelerate into multiple threats, and Babadi can very easily take over the game. And if your opponent is playing Cold Bloodlust and uses Cold Bloodlust to essentially shut down Babadi, then you have Cold Bloodlust available. You have the ability to play out the Goku Black 8-drop and destroy their energy and start pressuring them with those cards. And so Babadi is just a threat that demands attention, and they can get to it so fast that they can kind of put Cold Bloodlust decks in a bad position. But with the Crusher Ball ruling, it's changed that up a bit. Titan Broco, oh my gosh, awesome. We got somebody on one of our KitchenTableMeta. Oh, you guys cannot see that's Glare City. He pulled the foil Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku on stream, so that's awesome. Oh, we got another one too. Got two of them. So that's awesome. That's really cool. Good pulls for the promo packs for the KitchenTableMeta team players over here. All right, see what else we got. At KitchenTableMeta, knowing what you know now, what deck would you have played? Oh, that's such a good question. I think if I know what I knew now, if I knew the field and stuff, I would still play the blue-green Soul Striker Goku deck. I just love that deck so much. It has a good matchup against Ginyu. It has a good matchup against aggro decks because it has Kel in the deck, and it can essentially accelerate to kill very quickly. It has a decent matchup against Cell. We haven't seen as much Cell here as I expected, so I think because of that, I definitely would have played that deck. It's one of my favorite decks. I actually probably have a deck profile up on that deck going into next week. It's just one of my team members was thinking about playing the deck, and I didn't want to kind of spoil the deck before going into the regionals, but I'll definitely have it up next week. Titan Bronco says, I haven't been this excited and enthusiastic about a card game for years. Yeah, me neither. I mean, this game is absolutely amazing. I said amazing, not saying that time, but it's just such a fun game. It has so many cool elements from different card games that make it very exciting. It's just such a fun game to play. All right, let's see what else we have. I know it's online, but this is Twitch chat. How long are rounds? Rounds are an hour. We got Sawyer over here just pulling every insane promo that he can out of all these packs. That's awesome. But I'm sorry, the rounds are an hour long. Do you guys know how long it's left in the round?
8 minutes.
So we have 8 minutes left in the round, so we actually won't have that much downtime, guys. I'll probably only answer a couple more questions, and I need to get set up for the next match. But hopefully I can sit here and talk to you guys as much as I can, guys, to kind of take away a little bit of that downtime. At KitchenTableMeta, next regionals, you should have backup games for matches are in fast. I talked about that before. Again, guys, we have to have a judge watching the matches, and so if you have too many games going on at once, you might take too many judges away from the actual floor, which could cause problems. But again, it's something I'll bring up to Jim and let him know. I'll try my best to do something about that. If I'm even chosen to do the next regional, I might not even be chosen. Titan Bronco, I don't think Ginyu is the best deck. I don't either. I think it's very good, but I don't think it's the best. Dusty, you're doing amazing. Thank you so much for saying that, man. I really appreciate that. I'm trying my best. Like I said, if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know, guys. I take feedback absolutely well, so just let me know. Just crush me if you see something I can do better. Okay. Are you on Wi-Fi, 4G, or LAN? I think we're on like fiber optic or something. It's insane. The upload speed here is like 92, which I've never seen before. Like I hit the speed test button and saw it pop up, and I thought it was a glitch. Like I literally refreshed and did it again. I was like, that's weird. 92. I didn't even know it was possible to have 92 upload. That's insane to me. At KitchenTableMeta, next regional stream, you should get backup games. We talked about that. I would love to do that. We'll see what we can do going forward. How many players showed up for the event? 220 registered players is how much we had. I mean, they are playing here. I think we actually had more that registered, but I think actually people who showed up was 220. At KitchenTableMeta, there's a team. How do I join? Yeah, there's a little bit of a team. We just have a couple members. Nothing official to announce yet, but we're working with Popo's Kitchen to maybe get a sponsorship and do stuff about that. It's something I'll talk about going into the weeks coming up, but it's something that I haven't had too much chance to talk about because I've been so busy with the regionals and stuff. At KitchenTableMeta, have you had a chance to talk to the Bandai reps? I actually did. They came over, they checked out the stream, they looked at all the overlays, they asked me questions about it, they asked all kinds of stream questions and stuff. They were absolutely fantastic people. I actually met them at Gen Con when I played at Gen Con. I got third at Gen Con, and so I got to sit down and talk to them about the decks I played and different things. So it was absolutely, hey, how's it going, man? But it was actually super fantastic. They were such great people, and they're just amazing company. And I'm so happy of how much support this game is having already, and just how much I know they're blown away with the support too, guys. So just keep it up. Everyone's doing amazing. At KitchenTableMeta, have you had a chance? Oh, I actually just answered that. I'm stupid. At KitchenTableMeta, how many players showed up for the event? Again, 220 guys. Standings, I haven't had a chance to get standings yet because the judges have been real busy, doing stuff, but I'm going to try to get standings going into like the last couple rounds, or at least for top 18 or top 16, but I'll try my best, definitely. At KitchenTableMeta, great job commenting so far. I know it must be nerve-wracking. Don't be afraid to take a moment to explain what's going on during the game, such as when Julien misused his trunks on the Jiren. Well, I definitely need to do a better job of doing that. Thank you so much for pointing that out. It isn't really that nerve-wracking, honestly, guys. I'm kind of in my element. It was definitely more nerve-wracking getting everything set up. And if it wasn't for my really good friend Chris coming up with me, help me set up, I just would have been super stressed. So once I get set down here, get behind a mic and start talking about Dragon Ball Super, everything just kind of falls into place. I mean, it feels like home, I guess, which is kind of corny, but honestly, that's just how it feels. At KitchenTableMeta, they should do Team Battle Regional. Oh, that would be so cool. I know Popo's Kitchen is actually working on an online team battle thing where we can essentially do team battling on Octagon, which would be super fun, but it'd be really cool if they could do something at regionals as well. I think that would be super, super fun. Dusty, remember to get a lunch break. I actually won't take a lunch break. I'll sit here and I'll stream the entire time, and I'll eat after the stream. My number one priority is to bring you guys the best content I can, and so I just want to make sure I get that done. All right, guys, so I think we have, about 6 minutes left? So we have 4 minutes left, guys, before we go to the next round. So I'm going to pop out of here and get everything set up for the next round. Thank you guys so much for the questions. Again, I'll answer as many questions as I can at the end of each match to try to keep you guys entertained. I'll try to get some player profiles in here as well, but I'll definitely do my best. I'll also try to maybe get a co-host for tomorrow, since some of the players that won't make 16 might still be here. But I'll definitely do my best, guys, to do everything that you guys asked. Putting the game on your back, mate. No, I'm absolutely not doing that, guys. This game stands on its own. It's a fantastic game, and honestly, it doesn't need me here, but I'm glad that I'm here, and I'm glad you guys have welcomed me in such open arms. All right, guys, so I'm going to pop the screen up, put some music on. It shouldn't be too much longer, guys, only maybe about 10 minutes. Go to the refrigerator, get you something to drink, get you something to eat, and get ready for round 5 of the Hartford Regionals. Here, actually, how you liking Connecticut, Chris? So we have Chris here. How'd you do last time?
How did I do last round?
Yeah, how'd you do last round?
I lost.
He lost. So are you out? Are you dropping?
Yeah, I'm out.
Okay, so Chris is dropping, so I actually might try to get him in the stream and have him do a little bit of co-hosting with me to keep you guys entertained. I might, maybe try to pay him to go get me some food. How are they getting the side event mats? I'm not sure. That's actually something that's set up for Sunday. I think they'll be doing side events tomorrow, and they'll be giving the mats out to the winners, I believe. But I'm not sure. I'll definitely make a note and find out for you guys how the side events will work for sure. All right, guys, so that's it. I'm going to pop it up. I love talking to you guys, but I have to get stuff set up for the next round. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you guys probably about 10, 15 minutes going into the next round here at Hartford, Connecticut.